Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 26 of the Gamers Do Sports podcast. I can't tell you guys how many times I want to say Loose Slugs podcast every time I do that intro.
Loose Slugs podcast live.
I am your host, AJ. With me is my two buddies here, Tristan and Tony. Hello, fellas.
Hi.
Big show this week. We don't have Josh this week. He's got some stuff going on, but he'll be back next week, more than likely. Big show. We have assistant high school football coach of Venice High School, Dave Grandt, joining the show. He was in our comment section last week, wanted to talk about high school football, so we're bringing him on the show this week. Fellas, very first, I want to talk about the college football playoff rankings that just came out yesterday because I am a little pissed. As you can see, I've worn the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl champ shirt because we are better than the Ohio State University.
And you know it.
And you know it.
MJF.
No, but my whole problem was, like, how does a team that is the long shot betting favorite to win the national title get ranked number one? And not only that, they are number 3 in the AP poll. Not number 2, not number 4, not number 1. They're number 3. So how do they jump 2 spots? And I don't think they have. I mean, Penn State's a big win. I give them that. What else am I missing?
You're missing the other one.
Yeah, I'm in Notre Dame.
The Notre Dame game. It was such
The
an
Notre Dame team that has 2 losses right now, correct?
Yep. But that's what they're telling. This is what they're telling everybody why they're number 1 is the Notre Dame and Penn State games really impressed them in the way they won those games, even though both of those games,
Super
I mean, it
close.
was more Notre Dame than Penn State. They could have lost. So, you know what? This is the disrespect of Georgia for one reason. If this was Alabama, you think they'd pump Ohio State over Alabama right now? Nope.
No.
But they will for Georgia.
I mean, you put up 51 against a ranked Kentucky team. Like, Ohio State did not do that. Like, they barely beat these guys. That's
They're doing this for drama.
asinine.
They're literally, This is why these playoff committee is a bunch of joke because they don't have any logic behind why they put their rankings up other than they want drama every week. If they said Georgia was 1, Ohio State, Michigan flop them 2, 3, and whoever you want to put at 4, they would just be like, well, okay, it's status quo. And that's okay sometimes, but they want to be cute and put Ohio State 1 for literally, again, there should be no reason why they should be number 1. You want to put them, RDB, put them at 2, whatever, cool. 1, that's disrespecting Georgia, who hasn't lost the game. And again, if this was Alabama, they would never do this. Why they're doing this to Georgia is beyond me.
And it's 3 years in a row now. This is 3 years in a row. First year, went out, ran the table, beat Alabama for the national title. Last year, same thing. They put Tennessee at 1. What did they do? Stomped the rest of the competition, won the national title, except for the Ohio State game. Listen, I get it. It was a wide left kick that got it all.
It's beautiful.
And actually, if I had the time tonight and my computer wasn't being as slow as it was, I was going to make my background the wide left kick just to piss a couple people off because if none of these teams in the NCAA have beat them except for Alabama in the last 2 years, how can you put anybody over them right now?
And that's the thing. I agree with you. And also,
who haven't they beat? They beat Ohio State. They've beaten Michigan. They've beaten Clemson. They've beaten Alabama. They beat TCU. I mean, you name it, they're beating them. Tennessee last year.
Have not
LSU.
lost in 2 years now, right?
25 straight wins.
Crazy.
So
crazy.
So literally, you put them 2 because of an eye test of a game that was 4th down and came down to the literal wire at Notre Dame.
Did you not watch them against Florida on a neutral site last weekend? Does anybody want to play that team
Georgia,
right now?
Absolutely.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, does anybody want to play them right now?
No.
Now, honest to God, like, I'm not trying to jinx anything here. I'm not trying to put any bad juju on anything. I am worried about what's going to happen with Missouri this weekend in Athens.
I don't blame you. And here's the other thing. I've heard somebody say, well, Georgia doesn't look the same this year. And I'm like, they're hitting their stride now, right? They're hitting their stride.
You've given them the motivation they needed. You've just given it to them.
Right. And I was also trying to say, if this was C.J. Stroud somehow led Ohio State team, maybe you give them a chance to win the national championship this year, maybe. But no, I seen their quarterback play. you get a little bit of pressure on them. No, I'm sorry, but like Marvin Harrison Jr. is an elite talent at wide receiver, 100%. But if the quarterback ain't gonna get time to throw him the ball, then
I hope you guys dog walk them in November.
I hope so
this
too.
month.
Trust me. Oh, I'm sure we're gonna get told we're cheating if we win this game, but
I don't care. Cheat to win. I don't care.
I know what this is one game where I smile and go, I don't give a fuck.
But, all right, let's bring him on to the show. Our guest, Dave Grandt. Otherwise, I know him as Nebraska. So I've been calling him that since I was able to walk. Family friend. How you doing, Nebraska? How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good. Now, you are the assistant football coach over there at Venice High School in Venice, Florida.
A assistant. I'm one of many, and my role is minimal compared to what the other guys do. But yes, I am on the staff.
You guys are just now coming off of a win last Friday over IMG Academy White, 43-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the high school playoffs start this week. So what is going into the week?
This is the last week of regular high school football for the season. We play Clearwater Academy International. They're kind of a preparatory school out of Clearwater. They did beat us last year. We played them last year in the same spot. A week before the playoffs, they knocked us off. They're a really good team. They lost to a good Riverview team, but then they turn around the next week and they beat Lakeland, who beat us last year in the state finals. So they're definitely not a team to look over, looking forward to next week.
Right. And I know I'm kind of going to be jumping around here a little bit, but I've known you for 20-something years now. You played softball with my dad growing up.
You were knee-high to a grasshopper.
Exactly. So for those that don't know, how did you get your start? Just go all the way back because you're a huge Nebraska football fan. So just give us all the rundown to how you got to where you are.
Well, I was born and raised in Nebraska. I moved here to Florida in November of 2001. That spring of 2002, I coached track for a season at Venice. And that's kind of where my connection to Coach Peacock, Coach Shannon, Coach Hattler. And then I went away from it a little bit, went out in the real world. You mentioned softball. I played softball at a fairly high level, traveled all over the country doing it. I'm not like a evangelista and got my name on a bat or anything, but I did play my fair share, and that's how I met you. And again, when you were a youngster, I always coached off and on. My freshman year in college, I started coaching high school track in McCook. In McCook, Nebraska, I started coaching, and then that followed me down here. Coached track at Venice for a season. I coached a season of varsity baseball at Port Charlotte. Then in 2015, Brian Hattler got the job at Northport High School. He was running short on coaches, and in 2017, he hired me. So I was there for 6 years, started out as a filmer doing grunt work, worked my way up, got promoted to tight ends coach, and then moved up to running backs coach for my last 2 years at Northport. Been at 2 years now.
And for those that don't know, Venice High School, when it comes to football, well, realistically all sports, because baseball just won the state championship a couple years ago. Venice High School is probably top 3-4 schools in the state of Florida when it comes to football?
For football, yeah, we're top 5 in the power rankings. You got your St. Thomas Aquinas, you got your Cardinal Gibbons, your Miami Northwesterns, Miami Central, which is a predominantly very good school for a public school. The rest of those schools are parochial schools, and that's a whole nother conversation.
And you guys just came off of playing IMG Academy White. They have a national team that travels the entire country playing, and that's like next level stuff, right?
Yeah, we played them last year, and Venice has played them different times. They beat us 42-3 last year. I mean, we had Elliott Washington, who was a 4-star, and Damon Wilson, who you're familiar with, who's at Georgia right now. We had 2 of those kids. They had 3 of them at every position. I mean, their backups could probably beat a majority of the schools in the country.
And you bring up something I wanted to ask you about. When you're coaching there on the sideline, and you got these young kids out there competing, and you have the likes of your Nick Sabans, your Kirby Smarts, your Dabo Sweeneys sitting there watching the game and trying to recruit these kids. Does that bring like an added pressure to just you as a coach in that situation? Like, that these big national eyes are on you. How does that change for you?
It don't really. I'll be honest with you. I mean, you know that I had a conversation with Kirby last year when he came to our game when we played Riverview, and I spoke to him on the sidelines. It really don't bring an added pressure because I'll be honest with you, a lot of those big time coaches, they already know the kid can play football. They're interested about their academics. What are they like off the field? What's the family like? Basically what kind of a person they are. That they watch film like everybody else, and if they're there to make a visit, they know the kid can play football.
Right.
And for us, it's no pressure. All we got to do, we call the plays. We're not the ones out there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't know if that you have to think about it like, at some point during the game, it's like, oh, they are watching over. That's what I thought at least, but no, that's crazy. And how's your squad looking this year? I know that they had 1 loss. Was it earlier this season?
We're 7-2 right now. We currently won 7 games in a row. We lost our first 2 games. We lost our first one to Armwood, and then we lost to Cocoa, which, be honest with you, AJ, guys, there's no shame in that. Armwood's a perennial powerhouse, won numerous state titles in the mid-2000s. Cocoa won state last year, and a week after playing us, they very easily should have beat a St. Thomas Aquinas team. But there was, for lack of better terms, there was some shenanigans that happened, and they ended up losing by a point. So, again, we rattled off 7 straight wins. I think we're where we want to be for this point in the season. People forget we were 0-2 last year and, won 7 in a row, then lost to Clearwater Academy, and then won 4 in a row and ended up in the state championship. So we schedule that way on purpose. We schedule these better teams. So when it gets to nut crunch time this time of year, we're ready to go.
Right. Tristan, I know you had a couple questions.
Man, I'm in awe of like this team, man. I mean, you guys have some power back there in the backfield, and you being over that. I mean,
you were talking to me before we went live. You were talking about, the quarterback y'all have down there at Venice and how, he looks like a monster was what you were saying before we started the show tonight.
I mean, he's impressive. I mean, you guys have a squad. I like it. I mean, it's
we are blessed, and I coached at Northport. You guys are familiar with Northport, and it was a rough 6 years. They're a little bit behind the 8 ball on some things. Look, they're a newer school. I think the school opened to AJ. You'll probably know this better than I do. What the first graduating class from there was, 2005 maybe?
Yeah, because I think they started and they became a school in 2002.
Right. So you take Northport, and AJ, you live here. I work for the city of Northport. That's my real job. And Northport's a very transient city. So you're going to take a brand new school and you're going to stick it where it's a 15-minute drive to Charlotte High School. That's a perennial power. They've had a lot of success over the years. And you're going to put it 20 miles from Venice High School, which, has numerous state championships. And the state of Florida, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the rule. People, and I'll just clarify this. There's no recruiting in the state of Florida. If you have the means to get there, you can go there. If my daughter, who plays volleyball, if she wants to get in her car every day and drive to Tampa Plant to play volleyball, as long as she has the means to get there, that's perfectly okay in the state of Florida.
Right. Right. And a couple years ago, that wasn't the case, right? It wasn't that like a big thing 10 years ago or
Right. Yeah, that's kind of when it went in. And I mean, and people kind of want to, I've heard a lot when I made the switch, being out in Northport and stuff. And I don't blame the kids. It happens at every school. There was last year when I was at Venice, we had one Northport kid, but there was 7 kids that I coached at Northport who played for Port Charlotte.
right. Right. And Port Charlotte's coming on pretty good this year too.
Port Charlotte is and Jordan does a good job down there. He's a very good coach. He's a young kid, but he's definitely got that program going in the right direction from where it was probably 10, 11 years ago.
Right. Right. So what would so you juggled working a job for the city and being an assistant coach, Friday Night Light style. What do you find to be the toughest part about the balance of both of those things? You got your life at home with your daughter and all that, and you do your 40 plus hours a week in a work week, and then you go out and coach. What's the struggle balancing that?
It's at Venice I got it a little bit easier because I am an assistant coach. I'm a staff assistant. I don't have a specific position like I did at Northport. So if I can't get up to Venice every day, the kids aren't standing around without a coach, or they're not, so that took a little bit of stress off of me. But there's a lot of times when hopefully nobody from work's listening, but if I got some downtime at work, I'll get on the tablet and I'll get on Huddle and I'll look at stuff, and I watch film with the guys on Saturday and give very little input. Those coaches up there forgot more about football than I'll ever know. I mean, we got, a couple former NFL guys and a lot of them played. I'm probably the only one on our staff, I think, who didn't play college football at some level.
Well, I'll just comment for you when you get home.
And that's, we're blessed in that aspect.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I would like to steer this away so much from so much of the work aspect of it. Like we said before, you're a big Nebraska fan.
Okay,
Matt
well,
Rule being head coach now. What's your thoughts there about that?
I'm happy with that. That's the guy I wanted. I'll be 100% completely honest. I thought they should have hired Urban Meyer. I think with the state the program was in, we should have made the deal with the devil.
Yeah, at least you acknowledge that. Like, at least you can acknowledge it's the deal with the devil.
I will preface this by saying I was not on board with the Scott Frost hire. I was against that from day one. Never a Scott Frost fan, and I was glad they got rid of him. And for the Michigan fan, I can tell you, we could have stole all your signs and it wouldn't have made a 38-point difference. So for the people saying that, you still have to stop it.
Right.
You can watch our games and you can watch film, and you probably got a good idea what we're going to run the first 10 to 15 plays out of the gate. And that's the same with the teams we play. But at the end of the day, you still got to stop it. Everybody watches film. So that sign stealing stuff, bunch of BS.
And Dave, and how you doing? I was kind of staying silent over here just while you were interviewing. I do want to chime in. Speaking of that, number one, be glad you probably did hire Urban Meyer in a sense of scandals. I understand he's a heck of a head coach. My only problem with him is I feel like he leaves programs more of an turmoil than expected. But again, if it means success, I know some people would sacrifice it. It is what it is on that aspect of things. My main one was about the sign stealing. So I am a Michigan fan. Right now, my opinion is I think it's kind of a tainted season. And taking it from what your perspective is, do you think it is a tainted season if they somehow win a national championship with everything that's come out?
No, because it's, like I said, everybody watches film. You scout teams, what they're going to run. Deion Sanders even said it. They asked him, what do you think? Coach Prime said, you have to stop it. You watch film. Teams have tendencies. There's huddle scout. There's, every tool you have out there as a coaching staff. You watch a team, and we get tape on teams throughout the year from this week, that week. There's teams out there that got every week of film that we have. We have every week of film from another team. You watch it enough, you're going to learn tendencies. But at the end of the day, you have to stop it.
No, I agree. I agree 100% with that. And the thing is that people got to understand one aspect of things too is Michigan has got a very, very talented team. I mean, they're not exactly, slouches that came out of nowhere and all of a sudden blown everybody out. I mean, this is, I think, year 8 of Harbaugh. Mine serves me. But it is interesting now to see all these allegations coming forward. A lot of people are trying to imply that if you remember in the preseason about the hamburger whole issue with the recruit, that whole fiasco has apparently, since he had a fight with that the NCAA is apparently coming down harder on Michigan if he would just accepted the original penalty. I don't know. I'm just sitting here as a fan. I know you have more aspects of knowing things than I do, but I'm glad to get your opinion on it because right now I'm torn on what to think. Like I wanna be fully in on this run, but I'm also like, well, did they cheat on this run? You know what I mean? Like it's really hard. But
Tony, you just touched on something there. I'm comparing it to the Belichick Spygate scandal. At first, the NFL told him, stop it. They gave him a slap on the wrist. Don't do it. Then when it kept continuing, that's when they brought down the fines and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The year that they were, what was it, alleged the Spygate and all that, and said it was a thing and all that.
Yeah.
That season, there was nobody that was, it didn't matter if they had the film on them or not. They were still going to blow them out of the water. When you have guys like Randy Moss, Tom Brady, Wes Welker, it doesn't matter, man. It really, sign stealing would not have made up the 30-something points they beat Pittsburgh by that year. Like, it doesn't do it.
No.
It's not like baseball where, like, sign stealing can be a problem. Like, if there's a guy who's standing on second base and knows that a pitch is coming and does, like, a little hand gesture, like, that's a different story. It's been going on for years. When you went to the level of what the Astros did now that's a problem. You can't be sitting there yelling from the dugout like, hey, it's this.
Correct.
But go ahead, Nebraska. You were about to say something. I cut you off.
No, there's a few different things there. Being a Nebraska fan, I remember growing up, I don't know if you guys remember, in 93, 94, and 97, they won national championships. And prior to that, they had never won a big game. So Coach Osborne was, everybody, he needs to win the big game. We love him. He's a great coach. Well, fast forward 4 years when he won 3 national championships and had some players get in trouble, they were tired of him. And I think that's what's going on with Michigan in any good program. You're starting to see it now with Clemson and Dabo Swinney. Dabo can't do anything right. People forget he's won, 2 of the last 5 national championships?
Yeah.
And now he's no longer – at first, when he beat Saban, Dabo was the media darling, the all-shuck Southern attitude. Saban was the gym there for a few years. And I think anytime you get success, we've seen it with Brady, we've seen it with Belichick, we've seen it with Tiger Woods, The same media that builds these people up after they get a certain amount of success, the media finds something to tear them down. And right now it's Harbaugh. In 3 months, the NBA season just started. So give that 2 months, and something will happen, or something will happen in college basketball. I mean, look at all the crap they're giving the head coach at Kansas, Bill Self.
Yeah.
So I think people are just, when you're on top, everybody wants to drag you down. Same thing, AJ, you were talking about Georgia. I agree with you. They should be number 1 in the polls right now in the BCS standings because they haven't lost a game. They are the 2-time defending national champion, but I think we're seeing that point to where we're starting to get Georgia fatigue.
Yeah.
I have one last question for you, David, and I'll let these guys get back to it. And it's about 1997. Doesn't it stink?
God, I knew it was coming.
Doesn't it stink that we didn't have a true national championship game between Michigan and Nebraska that year?
As soon as he heard that Dave was a
Tony's
Nebraska
been
fan, I could hear the gears turning. He's gonna bring this up. I know it.
Listen, I am straight narrow with my teams.
That's not darkness in that room. That's just the smoke coming off of his head. Thinking about this for the last
1997, Michigan would have beaten Nebraska, in my opinion.
Whoa.
I think Charles Woodson was a machine that year. Okay, Brian Greasy played some damn good quarterback, and I'm telling you, that was an incredibly fun team to watch. I just wish we had it. I just wish we had 1 versus 2 instead of you guys smoking Tennessee and us being Washington State.
I will tell you this: Brian Greasy wouldn't have been standing because our front 4 all got drafted, and a cornerback don't do you no good when you got a 200-pound running back running option on you.
Ooh.
I think Michigan still would have won, but that's just me. Again, we can never prove it, which stinks. I love the '97.
I played that game many times on NCAA EA Sports, and Nebraska always pulled it out for some reason.
I wonder.
They're putting up 200 by halftime. I bet.
I seem to have an opposite thing on my end about sort of this. No, it was all in good fun. Like I know modern Nebraska, it would be nice for the Big Ten to see Nebraska get up to at least a moderate level. Then again, it just stinks that the program where it's at right now. Hopefully, you guys recover.
Hey,
well, if Nebraska wins out, we could very easily have a Michigan-Nebraska rematch in. Was it at Indy this year?
Yeah.
At the
potentially
at the Idaho Potato Bowl.
That would be something. What if Nebraska stands in the way of Michigan going to the playoffs? and wins.
Oh, Tony would never come back on the show.
Yeah, Tony be gone. Tony be
replace him.
No. I take my lumps like a man. I make a lot of predictions on this show, and then half of them are dead ass wrong.
Hey, y'all.
So I'm just saying,
if y'all had Peyton Manning at quarterback, Nebraska would win. I guarantee that.
No, I feel like the Big Ten with all their new teams coming in, it's going to be chaotic for a while, and I guess
this is going to be the last year for Nebraska to do it for a little bit because they got to get some more talent in there. There was a coach I spoke to the other day. His name is Bill Bush, and he was on the staff in Nebraska with Frost and them. And he said before the season started, he thought they'd win 8 to 9 games. I told him he was crazy. And here they are at 5-3. And I asked him the other day, I said, Coach, what's really the difference? It's the same guys starting, you said, and they could very easily win 8 or 9 games. And he said what it comes down to be honest with you, and I agree with him, is it's the schedule. Last year they had Michigan, they had Ohio State. Iowa was better last year. Purdue was going to be a bowl eligible team, and this year Nebraska's on the right side of the schedule. You fast forward next year, you're potentially looking at a Washington, Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State on your schedule. That's not conducive for anybody.
All right, absolutely.
Right. I can't get over the fact that Tony was waiting this whole time so silently to bring up the 97
season. You heard the old coal roller starting
I'm sorry, you said 1997 and it had like perk
years. Yeah. No, you're right. All he had to say was 1997. Tony's like, listen here.
Well, he probably never talked to anybody from Nebraska before.
Right. I hear the Michigan side all the time, man. All the time. Like, I understand that side of it. And like I said, when you guys won, I'll tell you what game made me mad that you guys won that year. And I know you're going to know specifically what I'm talking about. The Missouri game. The kick in the air for that touchdown. You know what I'm talking about? Game where you got bicycle kicked it. I bitter because I thought that game was going to end Nebraska's chances and Michigan was going to go. And instead we got what we got. And it's painful going back on the what if, but man, that would have been a heck of a matchup. All these what ifs back in the day, that's one of them.
Is that still like the one season that just makes you so mad as a Michigan fan still? Like all these years later,
because I think Michigan was the best team in the nation that year, personally. And again, I don't see that often about Michigan. I thought they were the best team in the nation that year. But we'll never know the truth. We just know.
Biased to me.
Hey, I'm telling you, 1997 is my biased Michigan year. There's a lot of choke jobs in the Michigan years, too. We ain't going to go through that route. I'm just saying there's TCU last year is what I'm going to bring up. We cakewalked to the Natty and we lost it.
Hey, TCU was a really tough team.
Yeah, well.
And you had to play them tough to win.
I was in Fort Worth for a meeting that day, and everybody's like, go Frogs. I was like, this is not going to go the way that you want it to. I can already promise you that.
That's tough.
I had that off by the second quarter. I was like, yeah.
It didn't matter who played TCU last year, whether it was Ohio State or Georgia. It was going to be a bloodbath regardless.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Well, I think TCU played their best game against Michigan that night.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they were
that
probably exhausted by then.
Tony, you asked about the the way the conference is going and all that. Dave, I want to ask you one question, and I'm not trying to get too personal into anybody else's lives when I ask this, but how do you think the them expanding the playoff helps recruiting?
For in the college level?
Yeah, like when you're trying to get these kids out of high school to come to your college, how big is it to have that playoff be expanded?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think the thing bigger than that's NIL.
Okay.
Because the 12 teams that are potentially going to make the playoffs, every now and then you're going to have one. But if you take your top 12 teams right now, they're also probably the top 12 teams throwing out NIL money. So they're going to get who they want anyway. You know, occasionally, I mean, you're not going to get, I'm watching the MAC right now, so you're not going to get an Akron, you're not going to get a Ball State or somebody to sneak in there like that. But I think the NIL is going to be, you're going to see more of that affect things than you are the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tristan, you opened your mouth. I thought you were about to say something. I was like, oh.
I thought about something, but I was like, you know, I
wonder
think
what
that plays a big part.
Yeah, but I wonder what
I
the
mean,
college
who's gonna
is
pay me
for
the most. Like,
yeah, the Big Ten for especially next year. The West Coast and East Coast, obviously it was a what is section like the SEC South teams, East teams is ACC and whatever. How much do you think it will affect recruiting Big Ten, knowing that there was a West and East Coast, and these kids are going to have to do a lot of traveling? Does that mean anything? Like USC now might have to go to cold weather instead of just sitting in the West Coast and having nicer weather. Does that affect anything at all, or do you think that's just irrelevant?
I think that'll help a school like Nebraska, knowing that you could potentially have 2 games in California.
Yeah.
I think that'll help maybe get you a California kid. That was, Nebraska made a living in the Big 12 recruiting kids out of Texas because they were guaranteed 2 to 3 games a year in the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So, all the kids more than anything want to play in front of mom and dad. Yeah. So you bring in UCLA and you bring in Oregon and those schools from out west, it's a lot easier to drive from Corvallis to Los Angeles than it is Lincoln, Nebraska, or Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
So I think in the broader scheme of things, I think that'll help the Big Ten. Now, I don't necessarily know if that'll help down here. I mean, a lot of the kids down here go to they go to SEC country, and rightfully so. Why? It's close to home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right. AJ, yeah. we got NASCAR this weekend, bud. Who are you going for?
Is I hate all of them an option?
Well, I'm in that same boat. I'll be honest with you. Since Junior retired, my NASCAR enthusiasm has kind of dwindled down a little bit. I mean, if I cheer for anybody, it's the Elliott boy, and I think that's more because of his old man, and he drives a Chevy.
Yeah. I feel like the lesser of all evils is like a Byron or Bell. Like even Blaine. Like I'm anybody but Larson this weekend. I really don't want to watch Larson win this weekend.
So bad because I want Larson to win so bad. Like,
oh my gosh,
I'm gonna feel like the village idiot. Who's in it?
It is William Byron. It is Kyle Larson.
Okay.
It is Christopher Bell and
Okay.
Ryan Blaney.
Ugh.
Yeah. See, that's been the response. It's like it's
Christopher Bell. I don't know. I'm just taking a hypothetical. I don't know, man.
It's weird because it's like some of them you feel like are too young to be winning championships yet. Like,
yeah, where's my Kevin Harvick? Where's my old school guys?
No, this is it for Harvick this weekend, Tony. This is it. It's the last race.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like the old guys. Like I was a Jeff Gordon fan, and then once Gordon retired, I was like, kind of fizzled out. Like he was talking about it with Dale Jr. Like it's there. Racing's there. I have no issues with NASCAR at all. I just don't watch it regularly.
Let's put it this way. My head says to go Blaney this weekend because of how fast he was last year at Phoenix, knowing that Logano won the title last year at Phoenix. Boy, but my heart really wants to see like Bell or Byron win it. I
like your Blaney. He's like plus 300 to win it. The guy puts down a couple dollars on that, you can come out ahead. And I think you're right. I think he does have a good chance of winning. That's his type of track.
But you look at Larson, and it's like as soon as you count him out, he's going to win it. And it's just like this is the biggest coin flip Final Four I've ever witnessed.
Well, I mean, I think he's in the best equipment. I mean, you can say what you want about everybody else out there, and maybe I'm biased because I'm a Chevy guy, but I think Rick Hendrick has the best equipment and has had. I think now he's got, and listen, I love Junior to death. I mean, heck, he's right here behind me on my wall about 4 times. But, I think he's got the best equipment. I think he's got a little better caliber driver. I mean, Kyle Larson's twice the driver Junior was. I'm not afraid to admit that.
No, it's a good point. It's 100% correct. There is so many guys nowadays that are like that too. You're absolutely right.
Why do you think that's the case? Out of curiosity, sorry to interrupt.
Why Junior was never like his old man was?
Well, like what makes the drivers today? Is it the equipment? Is it the stuff?
They got a $500,000 simulator in the race shop where they can drive on every track and not have to leave the shop.
That's a good point.
They bring their own sponsorship with them. I mean,
yeah,
that's the difference today.
I'm in the wrong industry.
That was my bad. That was my bad.
Job,
I hit the space bar.
What are you doing? I want to hear his NASCAR knowledge.
My bad.
You brought up a good point too, AJ. Dale Jr. could have won 3 championships and he still wouldn't have been able to fill his old man's shoes. And obviously the way that went down in 01, that kind of put Junior behind the 8 ball. I mean, nobody's going to fill those shoes. Even as much as Jimmy Johnson did, I still don't think he filled the old man's shoes.
No. I hate to admit it. I still hate to admit it to this day. The closest guy you get on the track nowadays is Kyle. Kyle Busch is the closest thing you get to an Earnhardt.
Well, I can swallow that a little bit more now that he's in a black number 8. It's not a black 3, but he's in a black 8. So
he had an interview where it was like, I wanted the 3, but Richard wouldn't let me.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think Austin Dillon should be driving the 3. That number should be sacred.
He ain't even the best Austin at RCR.
That number should have been retired.
Well, NASCAR don't retire numbers. There's some,
right.
I can't remember who it was this year, but somebody was driving around in the 40.
Are you pushing
that
the
wasn't me.
Again?
That wasn't me that time.
Okay. I was like, spacebar again?
Yeah, that wasn't me.
I don't know. I always thought Dale Earnhardt should have been retired. Sorry.
Could be my kid. She's fiddling around with the iPad behind me here. But, yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it ain't the same NASCAR. The guys are kind of, the boys have at it. Let's face it, that's a bunch of BS. The boys had at it when Tony Stewart was fighting people, not when you got Noah Gragson and Christopher Bell fighting. That's not it.
And they do a terrible job of promoting their guys nowadays.
Yeah,
it's just awful.
Terrible.
How many times you sit there watch a race back in the early 2000s and all that? You'd see 10, 20 commercials of race, different commercials of race with different drivers in it. You don't get that anymore.
Half of them had like Elliott Sadler in it, and he's like,
right,
he's
like Elliott Sadler was never anything,
yeah.
and yet he was in 20. Michael Waltrip, another good example, like won a couple Daytona 500s. Those are the only races he won, but his commercials were the best.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
Michael Waltrip got lucky and caught lightning in a bottle. If the old man wouldn't have hired him, Michael Waltrip never would have been. What he was, and that's mean to say because Mikey's he's a likable guy, but he was another one who had a last name. If his last name wasn't Waltrip and DW wasn't his older brother, where would Mikey's path have been in NASCAR?
Right.
He had some Napa know-how. What do you want?
Yeah. Well, he had 27 years of garbage before the Napa know-how.
Yeah. Hey,
Country Time lemonade car, man. I remember it.
Yeah, Country Time.
As a guy who just was casual NASCAR in the 2000s, started getting into it, I just remember I worked at UPS for a minute, and then Dale Jarrett was their guy. I said, "Oh, cool, right? Was it Dale Jarrett?"
Yeah, Dale Jarrett.
Yeah,
driving.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, he's the UPS sponsor. That's cool. Like that's who and it's little stuff like that you don't see anymore."
Another good topic that you just brought up there: the Dale Jarrett UPS commercials were bar none some of the funniest stuff they had.
Yeah.
And it just goes back to them promoting their guys. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Well, the guys had personalities too. I remember one time they interviewed Tony, and he was still driving for Gibbs, and he was the Home Depot guy. And one of the reporters asked him something about shaving, and he gave the best answer that only Tony Stewart could give. And maybe old man Earnhardt, but Tony Stewart just looked in the camera and he says, "You think them contractors going to Home Depot buying supplies are clean shaven?" And I'm like, that is the best answer you could have gave.
Right. Right. Think about like when they pull into Victory Lane, Gatorade Victory Lane, and you used to have all the Pepsi guys throwing the Gatorade bottles off the top of the car, or the Powerade bottles off the top of the car, and the Gatorade bottles, like it was personality back then. Now it's just so vanilla. It is so vanilla today.
Everybody's the same driver, I kind of feel.
Well, and you know what? If you want to be honest, social media kind of killed it in the sense that everybody feels like they have to walk on eggshells now. They feel like they're afraid to show any personality because the minute they do, it's just everybody's trying to look in through your history and all that and see what you did in your past.
Yeah,
So,
I get that all the time.
So, I mean, even Kyle Busch just toned it down. I mean, people hated Kyle Busch for the things he said, but
no, the minute he went to a bow tie for RCR, everyone loved him again.
Everybody loved Kyle Busch.
That's everybody used to like Denny Hamlin too. Now he's the villain, and I kind of like Denny.
I do too.
I like the guys who speak their mind, and Denny is one of the guys. And I never liked Denny up until recently. Guy speaks his mind.
He's aged on me very well.
I still never become a Logano fan. He speaks his mind, but I'll never become a fan of his.
Hey, what kind of grown man goes by the name Joey?
Chestnut, the guy who eats hot dogs.
Yeah, Chestnut. But hey, he's an American hero, Tony. He's an American hero.
You're like, okay, calm down, Full House. Jesus.
I think in a fair fight, Joey Chestnut could beat Joey Logano.
Probably. Listen, Tony, you eat 60+ hot dogs on one 4th of July weekend, you can be called whatever you want. I don't care.
Hey, that's true. Yeah. He is an American Idol. Put that flag down. Eat those hot dogs,
I
baby.
eat 3 hot dogs. I'm like, oh, bathroom? Where is it?
I
Point
agree,
me to your nearest one, please.
Warning track power.
Oh, that's right. The World Series is on tonight, too.
Yeah, nothing to nothing. Top of the 5th. Rangers don't even got a hit.
Hey, man, last night was just
don't be 2001 again. Don't be 2001 again. Don't be 2001 again.
I went to go fix the computer over for Brittany's parents, and then I was back there for like 15 minutes. I come back, it's already 10-0. I was like, what happened?
Dude,
what happened?
That was nuts last night. I looked down and I think it was 11-3 or something like that. I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's like the 4th inning.
Yeah, I ran out of buzzsaw last night.
Everyone questioned Adolis Garcia being out, how that was going to affect Texas. It didn't affect them at all. They've actually found their offense.
Yeah. He used to win the MVP of the World Series, even though he played a few games because of how it was playoff.
Will. I wouldn't put it past him to give it to him, though. I mean,
I think right now you'd give it to Seager.
Yeah,
Seager's been the
he had the home run last night. He had the home run to tie it up, even though they went into extras, but he tied it up. I think he's as good as anybody. Maybe if Evaldi wins again tonight, you might give it to him. I think if Arizona wins, you got to give it to Tommy Pham. Christ, the guy was 8 for 16, batting .500 in the postseason.
Tommy Pham, who just finds his way onto teams that are good.
I know.
Yeah.
Jeez. He finds winners.
Either that or he ain't very likable and people keep shipping him off.
That's what I've heard. What I've heard, that's the case.
Well, didn't he beat up Jock Peterson in the outfield over fantasy football or something last year?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I remember that. Oh,
hey.
Incredible.
Dave, Nebraska, it's been fun.
Yep.
I'll let you get on off of here, spend time with the family.
Very good. Yeah, anytime, guys. I always got something to say about something after football season. I can talk about anything.
Well, good luck to the Venice Indians with the upcoming playoffs and game against Clearwater this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I'd tell you who we play in the playoffs. I don't know, AJ. As soon as I know something, I'll give you an update so you guys can put it on the show next week. It might be a team a little bit south of here, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'd like to do like a little update for y'all each week while you're going through this playoff run.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. And, don't forget, there's also girls softball at Northport High School.
Hey, I'll see you out there again.
Come on, maybe I'll get.
What was it, last season? I came
Yeah,
out.
last season. Maybe I'll get tossed this year if it's going to be my last year.
I'll let you know when I'm there. You got to do it when I'm there.
Yeah. Well, I kicked a locker for you.
You did do that. You did do that. But you take care of yourself. Good luck to the team.
Thank you, sir. Tell your old man I said hello.
Will do. And we'll catch you later.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you. Hey, thanks, guys.
Yeah, good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one.
So that was fun. That was
We have to do more guests on here. I like just like bringing people in. It's fun.
I like how the biggest topic was 1997. As soon as I heard that,
I knew it. As soon as you brought up your Michigan fan, or that he brought up that he was a Nebraska fan, I go, "Oh, here we go."
I kept my mouth shut, but when I hear 97, that's the only time. Yeah, I kept it PG, my man. I know. It's
oh man,
it's
Let's
fun
see,
though.
we
It was a good topic. I really appreciated it.
I'm just going through the comments now. Yeah, Bobby Knight, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
What are
Bobby
we
Knight.
capping about there, Jordan?
I think you were rambling about Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, well, excuse me. I had to talk about my college football team.
Haley Deegan is off the market.
Oh, I was like, Tristan, what happened with your sister? I was like, wow, that was a quick progression.
Yeah, I know, right? No, man, she actually started the chemo yesterday and everything. And
how's that all going?
Actually pretty good. She was pretty tired earlier as soon as I checked in on her and everything. But man, we're fighters over here. So
yeah, keep fighting, man. That's all I can do.
And Brittany brings up,
good afternoon. We may be almost an hour late, but I am here. It is me, your favorite person, Russell.
I'm looking through these pictures real quick, and the Detroit Lions unveiled these, and it was sick. I'm all for the very long lion.
I thought you hated those.
I hated them at first, but forward down the field, baby. We going all the way.
Down the field.
Notice I said we. I said we.
I thought as soon as you said it, we.
Hang on. I was on the bandwagon first.
I'm not on the bandwagon.
Tony, was I not on the bandwagon first? I was the
preseason Super
the
Bowl
conductor of the bandwagon.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
preseason
God.
Super Bowl us. I will say those helmets, and I have to credit Madden for this, not anything else. I put that helmet with all whites. That shit's sharp. The grays, I don't mind the grays, but against the Raiders, it felt weird. They're like the silver and black. Why are you putting all silver against whatever? It's still
Hey.
They're still nice.
Listen, I just want to bring up the Detroit Lions have broken the Chiefs at the beginning of the season. What was the other team, Tony?
Okay, I got it.
Jordan
the last
Love,
4 primetime
Packers?
games. Last year, Aaron Rodgers' last game with the Green Bay Packers knocked them out. This year, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were undefeated in the openers. First loss for them.
Last game without Taylor Swift.
Yes.
That's weird,
right? Jordan Love was a good quarterback until they played us that week 4 primetime game. Has not been good since. And I just came out a report today that said they're not sure they trust him long term. And then the little cherry that's topping on the head here, that Josh McDaniels wake up this morning at 6 a.m. and find out his ass got canned. And I went, ha, 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 ha.
You think that I'm telling you, he had to have found out through a tweet. I have to believe that's how he found out.
I double checked it. I'm like, this isn't a parody account, right?
I looked
at
what time it happened at. I was like, oh, Jesus. Well, you got to think 1 o'clock in the morning, our time is still 11 o'clock over there. So
10 or 11. It's still like a late night. Hey, bud, you're fired.
yeah. Imagine going through the entire trade deadline. And then you find out you're the one who's like shit canned at the end of it.
Yeah. You're like, hey, bud, you're fired. Yeah, well, nice joke. No, you're actually fired.
No, you're actually fired. Like, we traded you to the unemployment line.
So they're on the hook right now for McDaniels and Gruden for having to pay them odd contracts.
They're paying both head coaches right now?
Yeah. Gruden's not much longer, but they have, I think, 3 more. For
Listen,
McDaniels.
hey.
Bobby Bonita? Is that you?
No. Hey, we need to talk about something real quick. I understand that what John Gruden did was very wrong.
I don't even know, honestly, what he did.
It was the whole email thing from several years beforehand. But there was no reason, like, you could have... I don't want to say justify firing him. Like, if he did, like, some courses and stuff to get back into it, there's no reason he shouldn't be coaching. That Raiders team wasn't bad when they fired him. And he was doing good with Derek Carr.
I'm John Gruden.
If this was 20 years ago,
This
he'd still be there.
This is Spider 2Y banana. That's a beautiful banana.
Okay, calm down.
No, have you never seen that clip? Have you never seen that?
Seen it.
That's a beautiful banana.
Yeah.
I saw the John Gruden with that has John Gruden on there, and that shit's so funny.
No, yeah. And then they had in the video
camp.
game Spider 2Y banana. That was
He's
hilarious.
like this. He's like the
Yeah,
whole
they
time.
put it in Madden. It was hilarious. I was like, wow. I don't even know what that was.
We could share a 20-second clip, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right,
That
won't violate any copyright rules.
No
We don't
idea.
own any of these clips. There you go.
Nope, this is YouTube. I mean, I see YouTubers do YouTube stuff all the time.
We're waiting on Sirius XM to start calling.
This
show's gonna be gold.
Defensive end, but
Spider
2Y banana. The line slides to the left. Watch the young back cut down the defensive end, but there's a beautiful banana.
There's a beautiful banana. Did you see that banana, Mike?
All my favorite plays. I am really jealous.
Can we put John Gruden back on Sunday Night Football or something? Like,
Oh man.
that needs a kick in
See,
the
and that's
butt.
what like the brutal part about what he did was, and how stupid he was for doing it, because he's up there with Chris Berman to me, and just awesome football personalities, awesome football personalities. I'd put Booger McFarland up there too, because it was always so funny when he would come on the screen, man.
The Boogermobile, man. The
The
Boogermobile.
Boogermobile. That's right. That's right. The
When he had a little Boogermobile and they went to him on the sidelines. I got some information. Oh, God.
He was the Rutledge Wood of Monday Night Football.
Yes.
I've got an idea though, and I know that we're in the middle of the show, but I've got an idea that, for a future show, we should do like a tier list of like all the football
Well, next
announcers?
week's a fun one because we do our third quarterback rankings, which is going to change immensely.
Oh,
And I
it's
am
birthday
going to
week.
put it up to 1,000 yards passing is what
and it's
the
my
minimum
birthday
is.
show too.
And it's
Oh,
your
it is.
birthday. I may include, who was it that went down this week? And I was going to include their backup.
Kirk Cousins.
I was going to include Kirk Cousins in it.
who should have
Joshua
been
Dobbs.
number one, but it's okay.
Josh Dobbs has been playing very well. I need people to understand that. But
Just that.
No, but you know what's going on with him, right?
he got traded.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's a solid fit for what it's
TJ
worth.
Hawkinson, baby. Oh, I love that I drafted Hawk.
Could I say, real quick,
Oh boy. What do you
So-
want to say?
Here we go.
okay.
Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me.
I know people have said it at the very beginning of the year. The minute he stepped on the field, DeMar Hamlin deserved comeback player of the year. But can we put that aside for a minute? If comeback player of the year, can we give it to Joshua Dobbs? The dude has to play for two football teams, thrown in their last second both times. If they had leads Minnesota to a playoff run,
No. Stop. I'm going to stop you there. He ain't leading Minnesota to any sort of playoff run.
they're 4-4.
Oh, uh-huh. Tony, who in that division is going to just throttle them?
4 down in the field.
There you go. All
But
right.
Green Bay and Chicago stink.
And so I don't care. A playoff
He's only
run's a
say-
playoff run. A
he's
first
only
round
saying
bye is
that
a
'cause
first round
Josh
bye.
isn't
I
here.
don't give a shit.
He's only saying that because Josh
Do
isn't
you
here
see-
to defend
did
his team.
Did you guys see the schedule that the Eagles have coming up? My
Yeah.
God, they are going
Yeah.
through the gauntlet here.
No, they're not.
Or,
After
no,
the
they're not.
Cowboys, After the Cowboys are going to the gauntlet.
Listen, how do I say
I don't
this?
believe it.
I could see them losing 3 of their next 5.
I have not.
Tristan,
seen the
your
schedule.
team at home's a different bird than they are on the road.
No,
this year.
no, they're not.
Yeah,
bro.
just because you guys
That-
always wear white jerseys.
Look at
Which
no
is weird.
I mean, no,
Like,
seriously.
What?
Tristan, look at your games at home this year. You've smoked pretty much everybody at home. Your
Have you
road
realized
is
who we
not good.
played? Have you realized who
you-
we played at home?
Listen, I want the Eagles to lose because I'm tired of the insufferable Eagles fans that I see on my Facebook and Twitter. I am so tired of it now. I wanted them to win the Super Bowl last year, and now I'm like, God, I hate them. Hate those guys. But their schedule coming up: Dallas at Philly, Chiefs in Arrowhead, Bills in Philly, 49ers in Philly, Cowboys at home. They're losing at least 3 of their next 5.
And guess who's only 1 game behind them?
Forward,
down the
down.
field. Yes.
I will say the 3 best teams in football right now are the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Lions.
How can you not throw the 49ers in there? What do you mean?
I think the Lions are better than the 49ers. They're a more complete team. They're a more complete team.
I do think the reason why the Lions are a little bit above them.
I think the Lions are good.
I take that back. Chase Young going to the 49ers makes the 49ers a more complete team, although they don't have a quarterback.
As I say, Brock Purdy last few weeks has not looked.
Boy, he's come back down to earth, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant, anyone?
Hey,
no, see, here's the thing. Okay. Brock Purdy is now proven to be a system quarterback. When everything went perfect and everybody's healthy, he's good. When Trent Williams hasn't been playing, when Deebo Samuel hasn't been playing, and he's limited in areas, he looks human. And that's okay when you make $300,000 or $500,000, whatever. No, I'm sorry, $900,000. I'm scrambling numbers here. When you're that low rated of a quarterback, money-wise, you can't expect him to be this elite quarterback. He's fine,
right?
But you better make sure everybody's healthy around him, because if all these little mechanics break apart around him,
one more football point that I just want to touch on, and then I want to talk about some hockey things, and just one thing that I don't want people to think we're overlooking at all. Did I not tell you last week that the Dolphins were going to beat New England and it was just going to be bad? Boy, Mac Jones is a great quarterback if he only throws to the middle and the right side of the field. The minute he throws to the left, it's an interception every time. Every single time he throws to the left, he has to throw across his body. It's an interception every single time. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm pissed that they didn't trade away anybody at the deadline. I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't care about the stupid win record. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Lost your best receiver too,
and lost our best receiver.
I agree with you.
Team. I hate New England.
Did you see the rumor that was debunked today, by the way?
What's that? What rumor was that?
The Commanders were debating about trading for Belichick in the offseason to make Belichick.
No, that's Tony. That I could see that happening. A team like the Commanders trading for a head coach, I could see them trading for Belichick. I wouldn't be shocked if he got traded. That's a legitimate thing. That's not a far-fetched possibility. It's a real thing.
Right, because Ron Rivera's probably in his last year. Let's be honest.
Right,
I think it's just not working out there.
I think I said it several shows ago. Like, hang it up, man. You've survived like these countless life scares and stuff like that. Like, dude, you've done great. You've led your team to a couple Super Bowls. Just go. Put him
in the booth, or put him in somewhere where you can hear his voice.
Right. I always thought he would be so fitting coaching Miami though with those glasses. I always thought he'd be perfect coaching Miami.
Weird in the booth. He really like.
And can I just say?
Yeah, I got my cut off.
The best head coach in the NFL, it's probably Sean McVay 1, Kyle Shanahan 2. Can I put Mike McDaniel 3?
I love Mike McDaniel, bro. I wish he'd come coach the Cowboys. Bro,
I'm not even a Dolphin fan. He gets me hype.
Wait. Who's number 1?
Vaping.
Sean McVay. I put McVay up there.
Andy Reid.
No, man.
Andy Reid. Because I'm sorry, Andy Reid's in 2 different organizations. I'll give Andy Reid.
But Andy Reid's always had stud talent around him. Always, Tony.
He has to coach him up.
He's always had good quarterbacks too.
He's the Phil Jackson of an NFL. In other words,
Donovan McNabb, Michael
guys,
Vick, Patrick Mahomes. Like, dude, he's had good quarterbacks.
I'm not denying it. I'm just saying he is the Phil Jackson. In other words, he's an elite coach. Yes, he's had elite talent, but somebody's got to coach.
For Christ's sake.
Huh?
He had T.O. for Christ's sake.
I agree. I'm just saying somebody's got to coach up the elite talent and keep them in the head in check.
Oh, here's a good question. Since we're on football, best player that you saw that like didn't play for your team, and I have a good one.
Live or in general?
Just in general. Just player that you saw play and you hated watching him play against your team.
I saw Brady on Thanksgiving.
Mine, Ed Reed. E.D. Reed.
Oh, God, that guy would have been awesome to see live.
Fucking hated playing against Ed Reed because you knew he was coming in from the blind side every time.
Yeah.
And you knew it was going to hurt.
One of his favorite players ever to watch.
One of Belichick's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
he
yeah.
highly respects him.
E.D. Reed, man.
I'm gonna go Drew Brees. I don't know.
You
It's
hate
been
watching
amazing.
Drew Brees play the Cowboys?
Yes.
Would that happen
hated
once?
it. I just
Oh, you're talking
I mean,
about
just
who
in
hated
general.
playing our teams? I'm
Just
sorry.
playing your team. Like the
Oh,
minute you saw him, you're just like,
um,
God, we have to play him this week.
Bert
Shit.
Favre. He killed
Oh,
us.
I
every
bet it was
time.
Brett Favre.
Dude, Brett
I'm
Favre,
dating
biggest
myself.
asshole in the NFL, and he's still one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
Oh, bro, Brian Dawkins, bro.
Brian Dawkins, that's a
Bro,
good one.
Brian Dawkins
Brian
was
Dawkins.
fucking terrifying to watch. Bro.
All right, I got a
Black
funny.
Shield.
Yeah,
Tony,
Brian
you can't
Dawkins.
say Tom Brady because you watched him torch you guys for like 400 yards on Thanksgiving in person. In the
I did.
stand.
Yeah, I saw in person.
You
I
paid
saw him
money
bomb
for
one
that?
to
Was
Deion
that-
Branch and go,
Tony,
oh
was-
crap, who's covering him? Boop.
Was that coming off of the Tennessee week that they beat Tennessee
I
like
think
59 to nothing in the snow?
I think so. And then I remember the Lions were up at halftime, and these guys, I had a friend who was a Patriot fan, and they were giving him crap at halftime. And I said, guys, there's two halves. Third quarter, Brady throws that bomb to Deion Branch. I turn around, they're gone. And all I see is New England just keeps scoring. And I see all the Lions fans take it off, and I'm like,
Deion Branch is Patriots Hall of Fame. Like that is Deion was great.
Can I tell you my favorite NFL story in person real quick? Which I know it's kind of
Is it the Brett Favre Hail Mary?
no. I went to
What's
Or
Well,
the
it
Aaron
was-
Rodgers Hail Mary?
Okay, that's second because Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary in person was probably number one.
How
Randy
what was it like
Moss's mom.
watching that ball just
Oh my
float
God.
into the end zone?
Randy
Tony?
Moss's mom is my number one story because
No way, really?
Pontiac Silverdome. I saw when Jeff
God.
George was quarterbacking the Minnesota
Dating
Vikings.
yourself here. The
Yes.
Silverdome.
I was at the Silverdome. A friend of mine had
Jim Bill
tickets. His
Dimmadome.
uncle had tickets for second row.
I was a young lad at 30 years old in the Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah, and so this was Jeff George throwing the Chris Carter and Randy Moss. Randy Moss catches the touchdown, throws it to the lady. At the time, I didn't realize who it was. Like probably one row ahead, like three rows. And I'm like, oh, this lady got a touchdown. And she's all happy. She goes, that's my boy. I go, yeah. And she goes, yeah, no, that's my son. And I was like, oh, no kidding. Yeah, Randy Moss's mom gave her the ball. It was freaking awesome.
He's like, you're Randall Moss's mom.
Randy Moss's mama. Yeah, no, dude. And seeing that guy in person fly, Jesus, dude.
Oh, bro, I bet.
He was a breed that
So-
you can't teach. It's crazy.
I know I'm bouncing all over the place here. I'm trying to find the picture of it though.
We have 28 minutes until we have to.
Well, I've already got an immaculate
we're just
grid
keeping it
loaded because
going,
that's going to be
bro.
our fourth this week.
Hey, you know what? And another, my annoying one was in the Silverdome. Martin Gramatica winning a field goal and dancing. Remember, we used to dance around every time he won. Martin Gramatica when he did his
Is
little
that-
dancing.
after he tore his ACL.
This was pre ACL tear, but he kicked one to beat us in the Silverdome, and I had to see his little butt dancing. I was like, oh yeah. It was,
Tony was checking into a room with 4 padded walls in it after watching. He's like, he's dancing again.
oh,
Like,
I can't stand him. No, I've been very,
It's
even though I
okay.
haven't go to a lot of events anymore, I've been very, very lucky for the NFL to see
Can
a
I-
lot of legends
so-
play.
So this
Say
past
less.
weekend was my biggest college football game of every season. And can I tell you how happy this one picture made me? Oh, oh,
Mhm.
I want this as my screensaver.
You should make it your screensaver.
I love nothing more than watching the good old boys in red go
That guy on the
down
far
to-
left
to-
probably wants it to be 20 years ago again with Tebow.
Yeah, but notice that's the Jordan jersey. I think that's the 15 they have now.
Oh, it's even, well, yeah.
But I
You're
love
right, thinking it was
the guy in the salmon colored Florida shirt with his arm around his buddy in the middle. Like, hey, it's gonna be all right, man. We'll be okay. The Billy
We'll give him
Napier
next
years will be okay.
Yeah.
He's like,
We'll
we're
give him
unranked,
that
bro.
shit.
It's fine. No biggie.
Do you know that I am one of the biggest like critics of Bobo, Mike Bobo, Matt Bobo, offensive coordinator for Georgia? Do you know they put up one more point than they did last year against Georgia this time around? It was the same score, 44. Florida scored 20, but last year's 42-20. This year's 43-20.
Do you
That's
feel,
crazy.
are you starting to adapt to him as the OC, or do you still want the old guy back?
So I miss Monken a lot because I felt like there was a lot of creativity with the playbook and all that. Like,
Yeah.
but then you got to think the talent around it's different. It's not Stetson Bennett at quarterback anymore. So
Of course.
the 3 highest scoring Georgia offenses have all been with Bobo on staff. So that says something, right? So I'm not apologizing.
No.
The verdict is still out. But I'm a little bit more suspect of the defense than I am the offense now, and the defense has been just fine.
Right.
I'm more worried about the defense at this point than I am the offense, even without Brock Bowers.
I would like to touch on something with the college football stuff. Have y'all seen what happened to Colorado after they played UCLA with all their jewelry?
Oh, they lost their
Have y'all
jewelry.
seen
Well, that sucks. Yeah,
but
that's
Nobody's
Coach
perfect. Is
but
Georgia?
Coach,
Yeah, they're good.
but Coach Prime is calling for the people that like own
The
the
Rose Bowl.
stadium to
Mhm.
pay the students for all their jewelry that got
They should.
stolen.
They should, 100%.
I
They
saw
should.
that, and I was
They
like,
should. This has been a common problem from visiting teams at the Rose Bowl. Someone needs to be held accountable. I fully agree with that.
yeah. You're not going to get a
I'm not
direct
going to.
response until they do something about it, which they should.
But did
Right?
you?
They should.
But did
I
you
understand,
hear,
like,
how
it's
he
funny
said that,
because,
though?
like, to say that, like,
No.
I get it. It's funny, but I agree. Someone needs to be held accountable for that because it keeps happening.
But did you hear the what he said about it? He's like, "This is the Rose Bowl." He said, "They said the granddaddy of them all, right?" He said, "I'm sure granddaddy has some money." He said, "Grandpa should have some money for these kids." Is what he said.
The more and more it happens, like, the more he's growing on me, I just hate the media attention. I hate it.
Like, so funny.
So let's go to a somber tone. I wanted to touch
Wait.
on this-
Super quick. About Colorado. Do you realize since this incident, they have not won a game?
Yes.
Blue cheese.
Just
So
saying, Colorado, reality hits you in the ass.
we're
Go
not
ahead.
we're not overlooking it. The tragic event surrounding Adam Johnson this week over in that England Hockey League. It's pretty upsetting. It's pretty sad. I thought the Penguins did a great tribute to him the other night.
Yep.
I hate that people are calling for the guy whose skate cut him's head. It's a dangerous sport. It's a violent sport. The fact that this is the first time this has happened in 30 years, ever since that goalie for Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Do some guys fall with their skates a little higher? Sure, I'm sure. Do you think this guy intended to do what happened here? No, man. Be better. We need to be better as a society when it comes to that. I assure you,
Yeah.
next to the family of Adam Johnson, that guy feels the worst.
Yeah, he does. And the fact that he's getting death threats. The fact that people are saying on site they'll do something.
You can't be sad about death in one end and then wish death on another party. You can't do that.
And we had a former co-host had a tweet about it, and I was like, oh dear. Like, that's all I'll say. Oh dear about your.
Was it the Cody one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please tell me he was trolling.
Listen, no, I don't think he was trolling, but again, look at all the facts around it, man. The fact they're even investigating it is just brutal. I mean, no one wants to keep reliving this over and over. I just feel awful for all parties involved in this. I really do.
Yeah. And Penguins did a hell of a. I got teary-eyed at the tribute. I'm sorry. I honestly don't know much about his career, but when you lose a life playing the game that you love, and you see stuff sometimes when people are bleeding and it's hockey, right? You expect them to bounce right back or tape that thing up. Okay, he wasn't coming back, and then tragically he dies. Like you got to understand, hockey players go through broken anythings and get taped up and come back out there like anything. The fact that this guy lost his life, and then we have to talk about, oh, we're threatening this guy that did it, and oh, he was malice and wanted to do it on purpose to send him to do what? Like, I watched a replay. It was his leg came up funky. Yes, fully admit it. But rewatching, somebody posted the NHL's same thing about like accidental legs. You might have seen it, where like the legs go up on a weird angle if you fall, and somebody's head is near it, right? Like it's a weird coincidence. Unfortunately, it clipped them. I know the NHL, I believe maybe even the OHL or something's doing neck guards mandatory now.
It's the WHL.
WHL, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm okay with if they start wanting to do it. And I saw somebody else say do custom design neck guards so it doesn't feel uncomfortable for the player. Maybe not so like wild, but like if it means protecting the neck, so be it. Like I think that's okay. I think
think about the brands out there that Evo Shield makes all the baseball stuff. I think
the
Evo
neck
Shield
guards.
makes everything.
I think the neck guard should be mandatory.
Yeah. I think
so.
it's gonna be.
You made the visors mandatory. You need to make this mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
accident
Evander
or
Kane,
not,
for example.
right.
Hey, nobody wants to go to a hockey game and see that. I don't care who the hell you are. You don't want to see that.
No.
They stopped the game, I believe, too, right? I believe they stopped the game after the fact because how much blood was on the ice. They just said, all right, we're calling it. Like,
and it's like I don't even want to think about the video again. I
agree.
Video again, but I kind of want to move off this topic.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do a quick locks of the week. We'll get to the Immaculate Grid and a sports betting update. Florida is legalizing it again. It opens back up December 8th. Hey! Just in time for me to not put any money on the SEC title game, which is a week after or a week before. So our locks of the week, I am going to Tuscaloosa, and I'm going to take LSU +3 on Alabama.
I like that.
I think that's actually not a bad call, especially LSU. I mean, LSU has
not been good, but
no.
But if there's always that one team that's a thorn in Alabama's side, it's LSU. So I'm taking LSU this weekend. Tristan.
All right. Go ahead, Tristan.
I'm going to change my sport. I'm going to go with the Capitals over the Islanders.
Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma. Give them the second straight loss.
God, is that this weekend? Is that what is that? Bedlam, right?
Yeah.
This is the last time you're going to get Bedlam for a while.
I know.
It's so fucking unfortunate.
OK State's going to take care of business.
Okay. So those are our locks of the week. Let's get into our 4, which is going to be this. For the first one, I've already got one for Yankees Blue Jays. And you're going to laugh at me here.
I like that pick. I like that.
The Phillies and Blue Jays is easy. Roy Halladay.
Oh, look at us go here.
Roy Halladay. Always a high pick.
I need to look up one because I don't know if he actually had a 30-base stolen season.
For the Phillies?
Nope, for the Yankees. But I want to go off the wall for it. Hang on.
I get the Phillies one.
Oh, he did do it. Yeah. Oh, no, that was totaled.
You're thinking Jimmy Rollins on that one?
Nope.
For the Phillies, sorry.
Yeah. I was thinking Phillies, Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh. What? He had a 58 stolen base season.
Apparently
Just imagine.
Was it with Cincinnati Reds, though?
Throw him out?
Wait, was it with Cincinnati Reds?
When paired with a team, that must be achieved in the season with that team. Son of a biscuit.
Well, there you go.
Son of a biscuit.
Did Ricky do it with the Yankees? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What was your Atlanta and Toronto one? Sorry.
I didn't throw one out there for that one yet.
Who threw one out there?
I threw Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins.
Base.
Yeah.
So we can go Ryan Howard here, right? He was an MVP.
Yeah.
Which is so wild to think that, bro. Like
what? Ryan Howard was an MVP?
Yeah.
He had like 56 or bombs or something like that the year he did.
I know.
And I won't do one
so
here.
Long ago.
But A-Rod.
I was thinking I was thinking either him or Derek Jeter.
Let's go.
Does Atlanta, does Acuna count? I mean, he's probably the most
that's
absolute
what I was
obvious.
going to put there.
Did Chipper win an MVP?
I think he did. He did.
All right.
I love me some Chipper Jones, man.
Atlanta and Philly.
What a great player.
I don't think Joe
All
right.
Carter played for the Braves, did he?
Philly.
Oh, he might have, Tony. I think Joe Carter did play for the Braves. He did not play for the Braves. So you would have been wrong.
No.
Wrong.
That's why I'm like sitting here out loud going,
Wrong.
Wait a minute. Who was that? Who was that pitcher? Bounced around the league a lot, but he was like Atlanta's ace for the longest time.
All right, Dickie. No.
No, but I think RA did go to Atlanta.
ridiculous.
Very good. Look at Tristan. R.A. Dickey.
Hey, knuckler, baby. That knuckleball was vicious.
That is awesome that you did that.
Yeah.
I want to see what the score is. 6%. A 6%er, Tristan.
Attaboy.
Hey, you guys want to do football?
Of course.
I can't do football. Only one team? Oh, my God. Only one team for the Bears.
Brian
Urlacher?
Urlacher.
Yeah. He was my favorite. My favorite.
Brian Dawkins, right?
Younger.
Eagles?
No, didn't Dawkins play somewhere very late in the year? Was that it? I thought Brian Dawkins went.
Did he go to Seattle at one point?
Late. I thought he went there like
Brian Dawkins. I don't think so.
Wait a minute, Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't he count?
He went to the Broncos, by the way.
Who?
Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, I thought he finished his career somewhere in the...
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed, T Sizzle. No, I'm sorry, he would have been wrong. He wouldn't to the.
I almost said
no. Ed Reed went to the Texans.
Damn it! No, I don't even want to do Immaculate Grid anymore.
Why?
Because we got it wrong already. I don't got enough.
I know. I was going to tell you no Ed Reed, but
well, you'd said it too late. Let's go to a previous one. Here, we'll go to this one.
You can do previous ones in this?
Yes. Okay. Bucks Chargers. Oh, fuck. This one's gonna be tougher than
Keenan McCardell. Keenan McCardell.
For this one?
Yes. Keenan McCardell, the wide receiver. Right up
Jesus,
there.
Tony, 92 to 2007? I was still in elementary school.
7%.
Well, somebody knows something. I don't know. That was my guy.
Saints. Bucks Saints should be easy. Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood a whistle.
86%. There must not have been many. Bucks and Jaguars. Oh, who did they just get from him?
Leonard Fournette.
There it is. That's who I was
That's
thinking.
a good one. He plays for the Bills now. Did you know that?
Yes, he got signed this week.
Yeah.
Rams and Chargers.
That's got to be an old school one. I don't know anybody recent that did Rams and Chargers. I'd have to skip that one because I don't know.
Austin Eckler?
I thought it was.
Was he still on his rookie deal? He might have still been on his rookie deal.
Yeah, he's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
Not
Austin Eckler. Cam Akers, right?
Yeah, he went to the Vikings, though. He was Rams and then Vikings.
Damn it.
The Rams Chargers is tough, man. That's shoot Badu. I don't know. These ones are tough.
Bradford never went to the Chargers.
No.
Can you do Rams Saints?
Brandon
Cooks?
I thought that I had one.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks is a good one. Brandon Cooks is a good one for that. For Rams Saints because
I want to. He did go to the Rams, right? Yes, he did.
Yeah, and then he was drafted by the Saints.
Wow, 70%. Okay.
What hell? I'll tell you.
All right. Rams, Jags.
Oh my God, who was their first round pick they got? That was like a bust, and then he went there and flamed out. It was
a Jaguars first round pick.
Yeah, and then he went to the Rams and flamed out there. And
okay, this is easy. This is Trevor Lawrence.
that's a slam dunk. Ricky Williams, they traded a whole fucking draft for him. So I mean,
For who? The Saints?
yeah, Ricky Williams.
This was pre him going to the Dolphins, right?
Right, he was drafted by him because they literally traded their entire draft just to trade up to get Ricky Williams. Mike
Was
Ditka.
LT a first round pick?
No.
Find out.
I got one. Drew Brees.
Oh, very good, Tony. Very good, Tony.
Because that was his OG team.
No, not a first round pick.
He was
on Drew
picked by
Brees.
the
What?
You fucked me up here, Tony. We're going back to baseball.
What?
Previous grid.
What?
He was picked by somebody.
Oh shit.
No, you
Ichiro.
know what? He was a second round pick. Oh no!
All right, we're back to baseball now. Ichiro, Yankees, Seattle, and Mariano. And
I'm gonna go Jock Peterson, LA, and
God,
and
hang
then
on a
Joey
sec.
Gallo, and then Joey Gallo.
Where, right here?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. He did go to LA. I was thinking of someone else, or I was wanting to go somewhere else with it, but that'll work.
And then
Joe Nathan.
LA and the Twins. Fuck.
Brian Wilson.
Yeah, I was already going there.
Give me
Bro,
that
what a
beard, baby.
Thank you, MLB The Show.
Give me that fucking beard.
There
I
it is.
should have said Brian Wilson for the Dodgers and
That would have been a fucked up one, wouldn't it?
I'd have really fucked us up then.
What,
God, the
what
Twins.
brother went there? What brother was here? He was here and here. They're brothers.
Oh, is it Mitch Haniger? Mitch Haniger.
No, but it's another
there.
good one.
Yeah, that's Mitch
His
Haniger.
no, I was thinking about the guy with his brother.
Oh,
Just retired recently, like young.
shoot. Yeah, I'd have to. I'd have to think about that. Seattle and Minnesota. Oh my God, there was a pitcher that went there. Gosh darn it.
Just recently?
No, a couple years back. No, that's the wrong pitcher. Continue on. Joey Gallo would have been for the LA and Minnesota one, but you already used Gallo.
Yeah.
God, this shit sucks because this is like
I had the wrong LA, but I was thinking Torrey Hunter. I was like, the wrong LA.
Oh, he bounced pretty hard after because it was.
Yeah, but it was
Angels,
Twins, Angels, Tigers,
Tigers.
Twins.
But after did he go back? Yeah, he went back. Didn't he retire a Twin? Did he go back there for like
Yeah.
a cup of coffee to end his career? Gosh darn it. I don't know. I finally hit my I don't know.
Who was the
I've
first
got it,
baseman
but I
for
was
the
waiting on
Twins?
you guys.
Who was the first baseman
I've
on
got
the Twins? Joe
LA
Mauer?
and the Twins one.
Or not Joe Mauer.
Justin Morneau?
Justin Morneau? Did he go anywhere here?
I thought he retired a Twin. I thought he stayed his entire career as a Twin.
I'd had to check on old boy Bruce Dog Gratterall for LA and the Twins. I thought that he came from the Twins.
Let's just do it the easier way.
Give me that.
6%. Look at Tristan go.
He's my favorite pitcher, bro. He's like,
Twins in Seattle.
have you seen him pitch,
No.
AJ?
No,
he's very
not lately.
upright. It's a
Can we end the Immaculate with an NBA one just for the fuck of it?
Not till I get this one.
No, I know. I'm saying with the last one we do.
I thought of one. If they allow it.
God, what would the Twins?
Who was the never mind. I was thinking of the wrong guy. Who was the freaking pitcher for the Washington Sentinels or Senators?
You know what I wonder? Did Jay Buhner in his career somewhere weird? Remember that guy? I'm not saying he's the answer.
I was thinking of Walter Johnson, by the way.
Oh. Was that who it is?
Mariners and Yankees was Jay Buhner.
Oh, so it was okay. So I wasn't too far off. Seattle and Minnesota. Does Minnesota Kirby Puckett played there his whole career? There's got to be some like obscure like.
I'm looking at the.
John Jay.
Maybe. I'm trying to think if there's like any current.
No,
like,
not John Jay. Hang on.
I feel like this is a cheat one, but I really don't know. Like I'm going through it in my head. I don't have anything in front of me.
I think I might have got it.
This sucks.
I think I might have got it. It depends on where he played, though. No, he played his whole career with Seattle. Shit.
Oh my God, you guys are gonna be so pissed when I say this one because
Who
I
is
had to
it?
check on this one. Nelson Cruz.
Oh, that's like a cheat code.
He
He's
played
been, like,
everywhere.
All
Nelson Cruz
over.
played everywhere. All right, you want to do a fucking basketball one? Let's
We're not gonna finish
Yeah.
that one.
Da, 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 da. All right.
First round draft pick for the Heat. Dwayne
Greg
Wade.
Oden. Greg Oden.
Greg Oden.
Not Greg Oden. No. Not for
He
the
was.
Heat. For Portland. Yeah, Dwayne Wade. You're right. You're right on yours. I thought you were going to
Ow,
put him
I
in
don't know
for.
why.
Yeah, that's
Oden.
Greg Oden.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all right because it scared me for a minute. I'm like, oh no,
It
we're
threw me
going
off
to
for a
be.
second.
Oh, Joe Johnson?
Yeah,
Sounds
I can
about
check on
right.
that.
Yeah.
If you need me to, I'll check on that one.
I feel like this is going to be wrong. 0.7%, bitches.
Attaboy.
Look at that.
Give me
Shaq?
Yeah.
Lonzo Mourning. Oh, okay.
Okay. No. I'm good with that.
You down
I
with
really-
that one?
What about this one? Shaq.
That one, yeah,
I was thinking-
career Shaq. That's a career Shaq.
Look at that face, man. Look at Shaq's face.
He's gonna be like,
What's up, player?
Ernie, I'm so sorry.
Dikembe
Ernie.
Mutombo.
I was
Yeah,
wondering
I like
Mutombo
that.
went to.
I wouldn't do 10,000 career though. I would do it for 10 rebounds per season.
Mutombo didn't have
No, not today.
11%.
Attaboy. He was on the Heat team in 06. Fun fact. Did y'all know that?
Dikembe,
Yeah, he was on that team.
the team that won it all.
When they beat the Mavericks, yeah. Yeah, he was still on that roster, which is really weird to me because I'm thinking, how old were you then?
God, the Portland one's gonna be tough because. Oh, you know who in my head 10,000 rebounds? Bill Walton, right?
Bill Walton. What a guy.
Did Barkley was here, right?
Yeah, he played for.
I
10,000
don't
rebounds
think
a career?
he played for Portland. I think it was Houston.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I think he did.
it was
Charles-
Houston, Phoenix,
Charles Barkley.
Philadelphia, and those were the three teams he
I wanna
played
say
for.
He was.
Yeah, you were right.
I was
You were
right.
I'm sorry. No, Tony was right. I did not know that.
Who am I thinking of that was here? Who was the big man that played for the Trailblazers that I'm not thinking of?
I want to say Drexler, but I don't think that's right.
That might have
No,
been who I was
not
thinking of.
10,000 rebounds. I didn't think they would have a 10,000 rebound guy in Atlanta. I mean,
No.
guess maybe Mutombo, maybe, but like, no, because the Hawks.
Yeah,
back in the
Because
day- yeah, go ahead. I'm just trying to think out loud here.
oh boy, Drexler had 6,000. So don't put
You're gonna
that
make
on
me
there.
look up like Portland Trailblazer players because I don't know
I
basketball
am.
well enough.
No, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Damian Lillard's too small. Rasheed Wallace for Portland.
A good one.
No.
Ah!
All right. Well, that's how we end it.
Well, you know, I tell
right.
you what.
You can follow the show, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok at Gamers Do Sports. You can find me, AJ, at One Link TV on Twitter.
Yeah, you can find me, Tristan, at all these ends on Twitter.
Tony.
Tony.
At Twitter at TalkmanT. And pretty soon, by the way, I mean we'll talk about it on off the air and maybe share it with you guys. OG Fortnite comes back. And
Michael Myers is a skin on there. I bought it last night.
I would just like to point out this is not. If we do, we'll post it maybe on GDS. Maybe we'll do a stream for all of us on there. Fortnite night. You could just. It's something small. We'll maybe do something like that because OG Fortnite was awesome. So
Right.
Why don't we have like an NHL stream? That'd be fun. I think that'd be fun.
We would be canceled too quick.
Yeah, there's difference between Fortnite streaming and NHL streaming. And Fortnite, you can be casual and have fun.
I'm so bad at that game. Anyway, sorry.
Josh, we hope you feel better.
Yeah, Josh, I don't know where you are, but you're not here, so hope you're better.
I love you, Josh.
We'll see you guys next week. We're out.
I gotta hype up Tony. What are you doing? I gotta hype up Tony. You have to bring Tony back in so I can hype him up. I'll be like, Tony, my name is Tony. And bow. We're so bad at this. I love it.
Well, I wasn't expecting.